Alrighty guys, Matt back here with another forecast for you guys here on YouTube. Appreciate you guys for watching as always. We're going to go ahead and dive right into this really quickly because I do need to get on live stream on TikTok today. Make sure you guys do follow on there if you're new, because that's where we mostly live stream as of right now. We're still trying to continue to move over here, but it's still that slow process ongoing. So I do congratulate every you guys. We did get 1,000 subscribers on here on YouTube as well as of last night. So I really am thankful for you guys. You guys are freaking awesome as always. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and get into the severe weather. Yes, we have more significant severe weather ongoing today, tomorrow, a little bit of a break, potentially maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday, more on the lower end of severe threats. And then next week, we could be looking at something way bigger as far as significant severe weather goes for a lot of the Central Plains, Midwest, and possibly into the Ohio Valley as we get towards the middle of May. So we're going to watch, we're going to go ahead and go over what we got going on right now. We actually have a level 3, level 2, and level 1 risk of severe weather, enhanced risk, slight, and marginal. We actually have a marginal risk of severe weather today in Pennsylvania and southern New York. This is a wind and hail threat over here, 5% on both ends of those. We're going to be looking at some scattered storms developing over there, and we'll talk more about that here in just a second. We do have a couple severe thunderstorm warnings right now for some wind and some hail. Nothing too crazy out there, but we are going to see the chance for, once again, significant severe weather in areas that just had horrific tornado damage this past weekend across Iowa and eastern Nebraska and northern Missouri and parts of Kansas as well. We do have, like I said, that level 3 risk of severe weather. This is an enhanced risk, 3 out of 5. Tornadoes will be possible. There's a 5% tornado risk here, a 15 or a 30% hatched wind risk, and a 30% hatched hail risk for damaging winds up to 75 plus miles an hour, hail up to 2 to 3 inches in diameter, and a couple tornadoes will be possible. This includes Fort Dodge, Iowa, Des Moines, Indianola. We get down here into Missouri, where we have St. Joseph, Kansas City's on that line, Leavenworth, and then Topeka, Emporia, and Ottawa, Kansas in that enhanced risk. And in that slight risk, that level 2 shading from Sioux Falls, South Dakota to Fremont and Omaha, Nebraska, down here into Wichita, Kansas. We now have Ponca City in northern Oklahoma, just north of the Oklahoma City area that's in that slight risk. And then we get into the eastern side of Kansas, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri. We get into Cedar Rapids, Iowa City, Iowa, Waterloo, and Mason City, Iowa as well. And in that level 1 risk, a lot bigger, Minneapolis, Minnesota, getting into that. Eau Claire, Wisconsin, in that marginal risk there as well. Davenport, Iowa, in that marginal risk. A little bit of western Illinois, parts of central Jefferson City and Columbia, Missouri. Tulsa, Oklahoma's in this. Oklahoma City, Shawnee, Norman, and then down here into Texas we have Wichita Falls, Abilene, San Angelo. So you guys can see what we're looking at. And like I said, we do have that small marginal risk for severe weather in Pennsylvania. What is this going to look like on the models for today? Like I said, we do have all modes of severe weather possible. Significant severe weather will be possible today in these areas. There is still a little bit of an issue potentially with convection maybe going on, but we're actually already seeing that convection, so I'm not too worried about storms not being able to fire off as of right now. This is going to be about an 8 to 9 hour window, and we actually do have a tornado watch out for central and eastern Nebraska and Iowa already until 10 o'clock tonight, so we'll talk about that on the live stream later today. But this is going to be what the radar looks like. Supercells popping up here. We'll eventually kind of have a line of storms develop no later than 7 to 9 o'clock tonight. That'll be working its way through that enhanced and slight risk into Iowa and Missouri. And then we'll have a couple storms fire off down here towards northern Oklahoma and southern Kansas around 1 o'clock in the morning. So we'll be watching that for some hail and some wind. We'll have some heavy rain up in northern Wisconsin, but as these storms go towards Illinois, they should start to weaken and be subsevere, more subsevere closer to that western Illinois area. And then we'll be watching for some overnight convection here into Oklahoma. We'll have rain showers ongoing, maybe some heavy rain in parts of eastern Oklahoma, maybe north of Tulsa there, parts of Kansas and Nebraska. And as we get ready for severe weather again tomorrow, yes, we have another significant severe weather risk for you guys tomorrow on Wednesday, May 1st. Tomorrow's already May 1st, which is crazy. And once again, we have that level 3 risk of enhanced severe weather. They did shrink this down a little bit to what it was earlier. So this will include central, southern Kansas, and northern panhandle of Oklahoma in that level 3 risk. This is strictly going to be for a hatched hail risk there, up to 2+ inches in diameter hail. And then in that slight risk from now Abilene, Midland, Texas, San Angelo, Texas, Brady, Fort Stockton, up to Wichita Falls, Vernon, western Oklahoma, Elk City, Altus, Lawton, Clinton area there. Up here into Wichita, Kansas again, Manhattan, Kansas, Kansas State University sits there, Lincoln, Nebraska, Grand Island. So you can see that level 2 risk in that yellow shading in parts of those areas. And then that level 1 marginal risk there into eastern Colorado, most of Texas, including San Antonio, New Braunfels, Austin, Dallas, Fort Worth metro area, Norman, Oklahoma, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Kansas City. So that severe weather is going to be a little bit more pushed west in some areas that did not get hit as hard, hopefully, this past weekend. But it's something we're still going to have to watch. There could be still some future updates with this guys. The 18Z model run is still trying to finish updating, but I can show you guys kind of what we're looking at tomorrow. It's got one big supercell potentially popping up here in that enhanced risk area, and that would be for large hail, maybe a brief tornado spin up here, and that's around 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon potentially. Got a couple cells outside the risk zone here, maybe in St. Louis for some afternoon thunderstorms in those areas. A couple cells popping up along the dry line that'll be setting up here from Paducah, Texas into Memphis, Texas there along Interstate 40. Most of the severe weather widespread wise will be down here near that, like I said, that dry line here in Odessa, Midland, Texas, Fort Stockton area, and then we'll watch those storms kind of fire off into a line where I think we'll have an overnight MCS tomorrow night. A couple supercells, strong tornado potentially up there if storms can fire near Wichita, Kansas again, and then we're going to be watching for a damaging wind event once again from central and southern Oklahoma down through most of the Texas area, and that will go overnight. We will probably have that damaging wind event, Oklahoma City, Norman. Once again, guys, we're going to have to watch out for tornadoes potentially tomorrow, damaging winds, and large hail. Oklahoma City around 11 o'clock tomorrow night, Norman area. So this would be a pretty significant damaging wind event potentially if this kind of does unfold. We'll be watching this, a couple isolated clusters of cells up there near Wichita, Kansas to midnight on Wednesday into Thursday morning. We'll have maybe some isolated severe weather developing after midnight around the low pressure system up here near McCook, near Kearney, Grand Island on Wednesday, Lincoln, Nebraska again on Wednesday. But all in all, most of the significant severe weather will be Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas on Wednesday. And that's really it as far as that goes. We'll dive more into the brief details on this here in just a second. We also do have a marginal risk of severe weather as well. Let me pull this up here for you guys for Wednesday or for Thursday. I do expect Thursday to get upgraded to a slight. The Storm Prediction Center does talk about a dry line potential for some large hail down here in Texas and southern Oklahoma. So we'll be watching this for you guys. But there is just a level 1 risk as of right now for severe weather on Thursday. So this would be a good thing. Yes, it's still severe weather. It's still a level 1 risk of marginal, but we will have mostly hail and wind, maybe a brief tornado up here near that low in Iowa. Something we'll keep mindful of for you guys here watching in that area. But as far as significant severe weather goes, it's going to be today, it's going to be tomorrow. Like I said, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday will be more in the terms of in a general thunderstorm forecast, maybe with some brief hail and wind, but I don't expect a more significant storm system after today and tomorrow to come until as we get closer to Sunday and Monday of the following week, and that could be more of a different week, and we'll go ahead and we'll talk about that as well here. I do want to show you guys what the model runs are going to be basically showing as far as that potential does go for severe weather. And, you know, as we go into the European model run here, this one just finished updating. We can see our little low pressure system that is sitting up in Canada. We'll get a dip in the jet stream for Wednesday and Thursday. This is where that significant severe weather is going to be at there across the Central Plains and into the Midwest on Wednesday and Thursday. That marginal risk does extend out with that on Thursday. We do need to watch really, really closely as well for the weekend. There's a sneaky little southwesterly jet that's going to develop here across Texas. I don't know why I just did that. And this is something we need to watch for. There will be a lot of instability down here due to a high pressure system that's going to be on the southeast Dixie Alley area, east coast, northeast area. If you're out this weekend in the east coast or southeast or northeast, it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. Temperatures are going to be very, very warm. We're going to have it just that dry, comfortable weekend potentially here. But down here in Texas, I am expecting storms to fire off kind of Friday, Saturday, Sunday, kind of this daytime heating process. We will have another low up there, like I said, up in Canada that's bringing that severe weather this week. Another low, potentially mini low developing for Saturday up into there, and we'll watch that maybe for a little bit of severe weather up into maybe Minnesota, the Great Lakes area potentially. But like I said, we're going to watch that little zonal trough down here that we've got on Saturday and Sunday across the Texas area, and then we need to take our eyes towards what's coming off the West Coast. And this is a very, very strong potential storm that'll be coming off the West Pacific, and this could be actually bringing a potential maybe for some tornadoes, potentially a couple isolated tornadoes along California coastline, maybe along the West Coast here. Some heavy rain potential as well. The placement of this low is still pretty much a question mark. As we get closer to this weekend, we'll kind of fine tune that forecast for you guys, but I am expecting maybe a brief tornado risk there, a flooding risk again, kind of like those atmospheric rivers that we saw at the beginning of this year. We can still see that not strong, but mediocre trough kind of down here towards Texas, bringing thunderstorms down here to the southern plains area, but it's really that dip in the jet stream, and we get a very, very negatively tilted trough potentially next Monday. This would be May 6th. This would be bringing in a pretty significant severe weather outbreak potentially across the plains again. And like I said, it's all going to be the placement of the low. But really, as we go throughout next week, I really think we're going to be talking about the plains and the Ohio Valley as far as severe weather goes. It's going to kind of be this day-to-day severe weather threat, maybe marginals, maybe slights, just kind of day-to-day. But there will be instability. We're going to have a high-pressure system kind of sitting underneath of this trough. And what that's going to do is pull in instability. We're going to have ample dew points. I would not rule out severe weather definitely happening Monday to potentially the middle of May with this pattern setup. And if that does validate, and as we even go past that point, this is well a ways out, and this is probably going to change, but just getting the idea of the fact that May is going to be very, very active as far as that significant severe weather goes, potentially down the road here. So I think what we saw this weekend was kind of just a brief warm up to what could potentially happen for the rest of this month. And that's not something I want to talk about, but I'm going to have to mention it to you guys. So another thing we're going to look at here is that low level jet for that tornado risk. And like I said, we can see back here today and into tomorrow, that low level jet right over the central plains there, right around 45 to 50 knots to support that potential low end tornado risk. That's something we're going to watch. And I do want to watch for that tornado risk potentially develop again on the plains on Wednesday here for tomorrow. Very, very low to weak low level jet that we have present over Oklahoma, southern Kansas, and Texas. And then as we go into Thursday, that trough does move up into potentially the Midwest and Ohio Valley, northern Great Lakes area, where we could have a little bit maybe of some severe weather on Friday across those areas. And then we should have mostly a break on Saturday and Sunday. You can see not a lot going on Saturday and Sunday, so that would be good. And then as we go into Sunday night, that next storm system developing into the Four Corners and the Central Plains, bringing potential significant severe weather. And this is something we've got to watch next Monday and Tuesday, guys. May 6th through May 10th. Potentially a very, very active time for, like I said, the eastern Central Plains, Midwest, Ohio Valley, maybe up into the northern Great Lakes, maybe down here into the Mississippi Valley as well. It's something we'll watch as well, but significant severe weather potentially possible as we go into the next week if models do hold true with that. I do want to run you guys through what the radar could potentially look like over the next couple of days here as well. Another thing we're going to look at, like I said, are these continuing to develop thunderstorms and severe weather that'll be an ongoing thing. Like I said, seeing that significant severe weather today and tomorrow, maybe a little MCS developing from Texas to Oklahoma and Kansas tomorrow night, something else we'll watch. And then as we go into that Thursday, Friday time frame, I think we'll just kind of have conditional areas of severe weather kind of up and down the board here for Friday and Saturday. Excuse me, y'all. And then as we go into that Sunday time frame here, maybe a little bit more of a little bit of some showers and thunderstorms here on Saturday across the Central Plains again, and then possibly some rain maybe to end Saturday night into Sunday along the Northeast. So it's something we'll watch. The models are kind of going back and forth on that as well. And then as we get into Monday and Tuesday, we could have more of a significant severe weather threat unfold once again for the Central Plains, Midwest, and Ohio Valley if that does, like I said, continue to validate. And, that's something the models are definitely showing. So we're going to have to watch it very, very closely as far as that goes. One more thing I do want to show you guys is the instability here. We're going to have ample instability to continue to drive that severe weather all the way through the weekend here. And like I said, as we get ready for next week's event down the road, the atmosphere will be set for severe weather with that daytime heating that we're going to see across the Ohio Valley, the Eastern Plains, and maybe into Dixie Alley potentially as well. So it's something we're going to have to watch tremendously. This time of the year, we start to see instability values push, 4,000 or 5,000 joules per kilogram, which is more than enough to support severe weather. And that means severe weather threats overnight could be a lot more of a situation that we deal with as far as that goes. But other than that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get this video wrapped up for you guys. Make sure y'all like this video. Make sure you guys, if you're new to the channel, subscribe if you have not. We will be live on TikTok today talking about the severe weather threat for today and tomorrow and ongoing radar coverage for you guys. I appreciate y'all for watching this video. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video.